Okay, so let's get stuck into building this thing, which we discussed in the previous video. As you can see, I'm back in my metaprod folder. If you didn't see the previous videos, check out my blog, they're on there. We basically used an MCP AI tool, Warp, that's this product here, and Linear to create our plan to build a product. And this is the summary of it here in Warp. I can open it up here, the PRD is here. AI powered product requirements and task generator. So this was generated by Warp, by, let's say, Claude, for example. The model is shown here, so you can choose your model. It's on auto, uses the one, whichever one it sees fit. So what we want to do now is, now that we have our PRD and we have our tasks in Linear, as shown in the previous video, here they all are, we want to see if it's going to go to the first one here. Here's what it's got to do. And here are the subtasks. So it should start here. So it should start, if I drill right down, number 37 here, part of 36 epic. It should be set, so it should set up the development environment and project structure and do all of these tasks. Now, this is quite a lot of work here actually. So let's see how this actually pans out. And we're just going to jump straight in and ask our tool here, Warp, to start working through the tasks, but one by one. Now, we don't want it to go too far ahead. So let's start building the app following the tasks from Linear created previously, one by one. Okay, let's let it jump off and see what it does. Okay, it started to create its own task list here. When picking up a task from Linear, be sure to be explicit which ticket and which task you are picking up. Use the ticket numbers, and let's just check, see if it is actually using the list. Okay, it is picking up Linear MStudio 37, setup development environment and product structure, as we said, and starting with a subtask, initialize Next.js, and that was correct. There it is. So it is reading what it built previously, and now it's actually starting to work on it. So let's run that. It's going ahead. Okay, it had to think for a while. It's important to mark the first task as done. So it's good how it's actually doing this. Everything is organized. It feels good to tick off tasks. And I'm excited to move on to the next steps. This is pretty interesting. Obviously, this is built into the LLM. I'm not sure which one it's using. I could choose one so I would know which one it is, but I very much like how they've given it that personality. Okay, so it looks like it's continuing with the rest of the tasks here. And we can check what they are. So it's done this one. It hasn't checked it off yet. I guess we'll see if it does it at the end. It's got a setup Tailwind, which it probably did as part of that because it comes with it. Project structure comes with it. So now it's onto Supabase. Okay, so he's successfully completed the first two subtasks. And now it's checking the Tailwind setup. It's completed these two, okay. So it's looking for the, so this is this one it's working on. Okay, yeah, so Tailwind has a version 4 and a version 3, and sometimes there's compatibility issues. I have experienced issues with that and I've had to roll back to v3. So it's looking at this task now, this subtask as it says, so it's looking at this one now. And we need our keys to be able to connect to that platform, and those are hidden. Obviously, I'll have to fill that out later. It's still on this task. It is setting up the variables, but leaving them empty. I'll have to add those later. Okay, it's setting up the configuration for the database. it's decided to continue with 40, which I did not want it to do. So let me cancel that. That's interesting. So even though I explicitly said one task at a time, maybe it thinks it's one epic at a time, because we don't want it to go to 40. It hasn't finished 37, and it certainly hasn't checked them off. I don't remember. I mean, yes, this might have been bundled. That's true. This might have been bundled, but it might not. I don't see doing that, so let's jump in. So please be sure to finish task 37 and all subtasks before moving on to any other ticket numbers. Once complete, mark it as done. Do not move on to the next task number until approved. Let's see if it goes back to 37 now. I'm absolutely right. So he's going to check what's the remaining subtask. Well, we know all of them because he hasn't marked any of them off yet. I'm not sure he can do that. So I'm kind of interested to see whether it can be done. Actually, it seems to have got stuck. Okay, so continuing. Okay, we're going to add so Git is initialized already. I already have Git installed and ready. It's going to add the new files and commit them. That's this command. And this is what it's going to commit, or just a description. So add the Supabase and all of the related setup. Now it's going to do Playwright. Okay, see, Playwright install. So for some reason it jumped out of this task, and I don't know why it decided to do that. That's very interesting. So now it's here. Here are the Playwright configs. Okay, now it looks like it's going on with ESLint and Prettier. Okay, add Prettier, correct. So we are here. Now it's got to do Vercel. Obviously I had to be very, very explicit. And finally update the README. Okay, so now it's gone through every task that it had created. I did not write any of this. This was generated by Warp and its LLM of choice. So I didn't write any of this, and now it's just going ahead and building it. So here we go. This is the README for the project docs so far. Explains what it's done, what it will do, where it will deploy, and so on. So let's accept that, and that will be the last. So this task 37 should be done. These should be checked, and this task will be done. Okay, let's commit these. Changes to Git. This is the commit message. It's done all of this stuff, and all subtasks for number 37 are now complete. So all of the coding required to complete this task is now done. Setup, development environment, and project structure. All those tasks are done. The code is committed. And here's the summary. Okay. So this is what it's done. It's basically done all of the things that are here. Correct? Looks like I don't think it marked it as done. Okay, it says it has. Let's see if it has. Let me just refresh this page, and if it hasn't marked it as done, let's see if we can get it to mark them as done. Not sure it can do that. Mark the task as done in linear. So it didn't move from backlog to done. So yeah, it didn't check these off. Are these checkboxes? They are. So I don't know, maybe these are not in the MCP. Let me just mark them off manually. So something missing from linear's MCP. So linear, if you're listening, just allow us to update those remotely too. Marked as done. Okay, it is marked as done. Just now. Leave a comment. I wonder if it can leave a comment. Let's test this, just out of curiosity. Hello. Oh, this looks quite interesting. Let's run that. Oh, it did work. Yeah. So I, not me actually, but wrote all of this. There we go. Tells you what you did, basically. Absolutely. This is the way to build stuff. So it created all these tasks, and now it just worked through them. Yeah, with a little guiding hand and a little push and a shove. But it's basically there, and I can just tell it to go through the rest of these now. So this one, as you can see, is done. It's got to do all of these, and that's what we'll do in the future videos until we get our project up and running. So see you in the next video for more fun and games on AI building. Bye for now.